Hello, everyone. Cathy, Sabater, mortgage planner and proud veteran, here with my outstanding realtor in San Diego, Miss Collette Jimenez. Hey, Collette.
Hey there. And hey, everybody. Welcome back to our Tuesday topic. Thank you for being here with Kat and I as we discuss all things real estate related. We're here to take you from dream to doorstep.
All right.
So imagine this. You found your dream home. You're picturing where your couch is going to go, how your TV is going to set up. Do you have surround sound? How you're going to decorate the kitchen? And suddenly the inspector says, there's a problem with the foundation. The
Oh,
lender calls, they need some extra documents, and you're not even sure where to turn first.
mhm.
This is the moment most first time buyers realize they can't do this alone. And there's a lot of emotions, overwhelm with how many people are involved in the transaction, uncertainty about who does what, and relief when you finally find the right team for you. So that's what today's podcast is about, building your dream team. And these are the experts that are going to have your back from the first showing to the closing docs and when we hand keys. So let's talk about why your dream team matters. Buying a home isn't a solo sport. It's more like a relay race. So in school, my favorite track sport was the 440 relay. That baton, you run, you pass it to the next team member, and the next, and the next. And each profession, like that race, each professional passes the baton smoothly to the next so that you can cross that finish line without tripping over details. So having that right team will save you time, money, and major stress. There's still a little bit minor stress in the transaction. The wrong team can actually cause you to they can cost you opportunities, and they could even cost you the dream home that you're trying to get. So let's talk about who these team players are. First and foremost, you have your realtor, and that is your quarterback. They're your main point of contact and your biggest advocate. Your realtor helps you find the homes, they negotiate the price for you, and they navigate you through the whole process. Your realtor should be educating you, and they should not be pressuring you. Some key traits that you're looking for in a realtor is communication, honesty, local knowledge of the area, and availability. And a great agent has trusted connections to the rest of the team. So all the other pieces of the puzzle, the lender, the inspector, title, escrow, etc. So my mini tip on finding your realtor is interview agents like you would as a job candidate, because that's exactly what you're doing. Your realtor works for you. So go through the interviewing process, have some basic questions that are important to you, and have them answer those questions, and then choose based on the connection you feel and the way they answered your questions. So the next all-star on your team is your lender, and they're your financial strategist. I'm going to have Kat talk in just a second about what that looks like, but your lender is going to help you understand your budget and get pre-approved. They're explaining those loan options that we talked about last week. They're guiding you through rate locks, appraisals, underwriting. And so what you're looking for in a lender is transparency, responsiveness, and patience in explaining the numbers, because it can be confusing, right? And things change from day to day. A good lender is going to make sure there's no surprises at closing. So, Kat, tell me what some other key components are. What people need to know about their lender.
Well, as you mentioned, honesty is really the biggest thing and great communication skills, right? You having the ability to stick to your budget or not, and understanding that, hey, I qualify for this, my budget is this, but the house that I really, really want is over here. And having Collette as your quarterback, we're going to keep passing the ball back and forth because we want to make sure you feel comfortable with it. I'll give you an example. I had one of my past clients give me a call and say, hey, Cathy, you helped me buy my house in 2016. I'm like, wow, thanks for thinking of me. Then I get on the phone with her and she's like, hey, by the way, I bought and sold a house. Why? Because I used a friend of a friend, cousin, or who knows what, to then buy my house, and they referred the lender. That's why I didn't use you. But I learned my lesson. I'm not going to use them because I got to stick with a professional. That
Right.
is the key, is sticking to professional people who put what? Your needs first. You may hear it a lot. But people like Colette and I work together in that, hey, if it takes us 1 week, 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 6 months for you to get the house you really want, We're also going to educate you. Hey, this is what's happening with the interest rate. So every couple of weeks, I'm going to say, hey, this is what's happening with your purchase power. And that's where communication comes in and transparency. So for me, I think that's the key because the realtor and the lender have to work together to
Yes.
communicate. But the most important thing are what is the buyer's need. If you're selling to buy, Collette does a phenomenal job in making sure that when you sell your house, these are the things you need to do to prepare because it's a lot of stress to sell and then buy. And when you
There
go
is.
to purchase, right, we work together to make sure that, hey, whatever proceeds you're going to get, what's going to be the best option for you to have so you can feel comfortable with what? Your mortgage payment. That
Yep.
is what a lender should be talking to you about. Are you comfortable with the payment? Colette and I closed the transaction and we kept saying, hey, I do a video. This is what the payments are. Are you okay with the payment? Are you okay with the payment? And we go by different amounts as far as purchase price is concerned. So don't walk through that door if you don't feel comfortable because Colette and I are working together to make sure what? You as a buyer are going to be comfortable with what? The mortgage
Making
payment.
that payment. Yep. So your lender really can make or break your transaction. A reliable, pre-approved letter is going to give you credibility in a competitive market, which we're in. So the next person in your dream team is your home inspector, and they're your truth teller. This is super important. And Kat can tell you a little bit more about what the bank looks at, what the underwriter looks at. The home inspection isn't really a piece of the puzzle that they look at as much as they do the appraisal. So the home inspector is going to protect your investment by uncovering hidden items or issues. They're going to report on the condition of the home, not to scare you, but to
Mm-hmm.
inform you so that you can make an informed decision and help decide whether you're going to move forward, renegotiate, or walk away, depending on what issues are uncovered. And they don't get a piece of the pie. They are inspection only. They're not inspecting things and giving you a bid and saying, oh, hey, I can fix these for you, because there's a conflict of interest there. So a good home inspector only does home inspections, none of the repairs. And a good agent is going to recommend inspectors that they trust, but they're always going to encourage you to make sure that you're contracting with someone that you are comfortable with. The next part of our team is going to be title and escrow, and there are behind the scenes heroes. Title ensures that the property is legal to buy and make sure that there's no encumbrances or liens against the property. And escrow handles the funds, the documents, and deadlines. So if you picture a transaction like a wheel, and everybody is a spoke in the wheel, every different contractor and component, the center hub is escrow and title, and they are a neutral middle ground. They're protecting both buyer and seller. They're pulling all of that information into the center spoke, and then they're making sure everything is disseminated out and making sure that that transaction runs smoothly. And you might not interact with them as much, but they are the glue that keeps everything organized in our transaction. So choosing the right people, how do you go about doing that? You're going to ask for referrals from your friends or family. I'm sure, Kat, you get referrals when you purchased your home. But you're still going to do your own interviews. You check online reviews, credentials, and responsiveness. You're going to pay attention to how well these people communicate. Like Kat was saying, communication is the essence of any dealing in real estate. And are they explaining things clearly? Are they following up quickly? And always trust your gut. You're going to be spending a lot of time and money in the real estate transaction, and this team needs to make sure that you feel comfortable and respected. The key is communication, like Kat was saying. Make sure all your team members are talking to each other, not just to you. Weekly updates, group texts, emails are a good way to stay on track and stay aligned, because the smoother the communication, the smoother the transaction. The best home buying experiences happen when everyone on the team is on the same page, your agent, your lender, and you, and then all of those additional team players. So I'm going to tell you guys a real quick mini story. I had a client that was a first-time buyer, and they tried to actually do everything piecemeal. They found their own lender online. They used, like Kat was saying, the friend of a cousin of their agent and their auntie's best friend, and they hired their inspector off Yelp. And each of these people were decent individually, but they never communicated with each other. So there was no cross communication, and deadlines were missed. The loan almost fell apart, and the stress level was through the roof. So they reached out to me. We reconfigured and pulled together a team that was highly, highly, I would say, invested in the transaction working for my client. And once we rebuilt that team with professionals that actually worked together, we closed on their next offer, and the difference was night and day for them. And so that's super, super key. So buying your first home is always smoother when you have the right people in your corner. Don't just pick the cheapest, pick the most communicative and the most trustworthy. And your dream team is going to help you go from, I hope it works, to we've got this handled. If you're thinking about buying your first home, start building your dream team now. Reach out to me. I'd love to put you in contact with my trusted lender, Cathy Sabater.
Okay.
I have fantastic inspectors and professionals in your area. And don't forget to subscribe. Next week, we're going to be diving into step 4 of the house hunting strategy, how to find the right home without losing your mind or your budget. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We will see you next week.